We are live.
We call the City Council meeting to order for Monday, December 11th. Would you please rise and join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Would you do the roll call, please?
Councilmember Franco?
Here.
Councilmember Cook?
Here.
Councilmember Bailey?
Here.
Councilmember Osborne?
Here.
Councilmember Thomas?
Here. Thank you. And we have a presentation tonight. Ron.
Does that big up the dais or? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Brett. Chief, sorry, Chief. It's a microphone.
Good evening, and thank you for letting me be here tonight. I got the right night this time.
Yeah.
Just like to point that out.
Thank you, Chief Thompson.
My name is Brad Thompson, and I'm the fire chief for the Valley Regional Fire Authority. The recognition of Algona's police officers, Roxanne Fajardo and David Gerard, is overdue. Unfortunately, a communication error resulted in this delay. I want to apologize to both Officer Fajardo and Gerard for the mix-up. But I don't want that to be the focus of why I'm here this evening. Instead, I want to focus on the actions of Officer Fajardo and Gerard on September 22nd, 2023, where they, without regard for their personal safety, went above and beyond their call to duty, providing crucial help to the Valley Regional firefighters who also responded to this call in the extrication of two critical patients from a burning vehicle off the side of the road. I think you all know the details of this incident by now, so I won't recant those. But the seamless coordination that took place between these fine officers and the firefighters could not be understated. While police officers and firefighters share a common goal, to save lives and to protect property, police officers often arrive well before firefighters. Their calm yet quick and decisive actions during this incident greatly increased the safety of all first responders who were there and also contributed to the rapid extrication of patients from a life-threatening and dynamic environment. Officers Fajardo and Gerard, your partnership and willingness to go above and beyond the call of duty were indispensable. Thank you. On behalf of the Valley Regional Fire Authority, you are being honored with the Life Saving Award. This award is given to a public safety employee who has been involved in a life-saving effort at an emergency scene before the arrival of the fire department, or who has provided extraordinary assistance to the department personnel in a life-saving effort. Fortunately, you both did both of those things, qualified twice. So congratulations and thank you. Take your time.
Better angle. Awesome.
All right, thank you.
See you tomorrow, Brad.
Okay, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion we approve the agenda.
I'll second it. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Is there any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Everybody get a chance to look over the paperwork. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. You. Reports.
So I do have a few things to say tonight. One, thank you to Public Works for all your hard work with the heavy rains over the last couple weeks. Thank you to city staff and to the police department for Blue Christmas and for the little tree lighting event that happened this past weekend. And lastly, this is my last council meeting. And with that, I wanted to say that I'm so thankful for everyone I've had the chance to work with, an opportunity to work with, and to learn from. And I'm so honored to have had this experience. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria. Mr. Cook.
Good evening. Yeah, I too want to thank the Public Works team and the staff here in the city. You know, several of you were out late and taking care of things, and that's much appreciated. And I think it does make a big difference. I drove down 11 yesterday and saw everything you have set up there and working, and that's great. We had city council training on Saturday, and that was great. We all got to attend it once, and David was with us, so that was good. There again, thank you for setting that up and taking your time to make that happen for us. It just makes our life so much easier. I did go to the Christmas tree lighting. I thought we had a great turnout. I was a little concerned with the rain that rolled in, but it seemed like everybody had a good time. And there again, a lot of effort by the Public Works and the staff and the police department were there and others. So thank you all for that. And I also want to thank the Abominable Snowman who showed up and Santa Claus. It was great to have them there along with everybody else.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Mr. Fairley.
I attended the meeting on Saturday for the new council people. Very informative. Learned a lot. Also want to thank Public Works. I went out and I talked to them down there on 11th when they were in the middle of it, and they were working their tails off. And I drove by later that night at like 8 o'clock, and they were just finally rolling up the equipment and put in some long hours, and it definitely made a difference down there. Very appreciative.
Thank you. Ms. Osborne.
I'm sorry I missed Saturday. Against my wishes. But I don't have anything else to report.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, I too, along with everybody else, I echo all their sentiments about the storm-related response at that time. I know it's not easy, especially in the dark, things like that as well. I'm very appreciative of the chief for arranging to get those sacks brought in. So that makes a big difference for retaining the water and stuff, and all the support they had with the crews and stuff, managing those. I think that's all a good thing. I too attended the training on Saturday as well, the newly elected and the re-elected, and I am happy to say I have learned some new things that over the last ones I had either heard or had forgotten. And I went to the Christmas tree lighting. I think that was one of the best ever that I've been to. Being here at the community center here, it gives us the opportunity to stand inside if it's raining and you're not walking around and tearing up the park out there and everything's all muddy. So that was really great. The horse and carriage rides was really good too as well. So come around that corner, driving to the Christmas tree light, and here's this horse, two horses sitting out in the middle of the road behind in front of a carriage, and it's like, wow, it's pretty dark right there. I'm like, what is that? So, anyway, so that's all I had. I just wanted to express my appreciation to the staff and stuff that put that together. And there's a lot of hard work involved with that. So it's an ongoing thing. It's a rhythm that this team gets into, and it just gets the work done. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Avery.
Yes, I guess as y'all know, our biggest thing with public works is the flooding issue that we had to deal with this last week. The crews did put in a lot of long hours, starting from Wednesday night all the way to Friday night, and they also worked the weekend and stuff, pumping water and stuff and things. So I think we got it down pretty good right now. It's seems to be holding its level right now, so we're still looking at some other options to draw it down some more. We're currently working with wildlife and fish, and then also our engineering department. See about some more long-term plans. Hopefully we can get something done sooner than later. Hopefully next year we can be a little more prepared for maybe isolating smaller areas that we could pump until we can figure out a good solution. So
6 inches in 4 days is,
it's
overwhelming.
It is. And we weren't the only area that we had issues, so I think thanks to Chief and stuff and getting the rescue bags through Army Corps engineers and stuff was a huge help. So. I think you got any questions for me? That's all I have.
Chief Richard?
All right, so I'll stick with the theme. I'll put my emergency management hat on. I might have ruffled a few feathers, but I've worked for the city 16 years, comes January 9th, and that place is always flooded, and I think enough's enough. So I contacted King County Emergency Management, who had no help, but I asked them to pass this on to the state level. The state was phenomenal. I've never had that kind of response, and I've been the emergency manager for 8 years, and I've never had that kind of response from the state level. Not only did they move heaven and earth to get us 600 feet of rescue, but they called, what else do you need? Do you need the gravel? Do you need this? They were making sure we were squared away. Just for context, every 15 feet of that is $550 if we were to buy that. We now have 600 feet of rescue ready to go. So, and hats off to the crew. They learned on the fly, which for me, I think that's the best way to do it. Trial and tribulations. They stuck with it. They got a wall up. We stopped some water. Might have ruffled some feathers with our neighbors, that own the retention pond. I'll take full responsibility for that. I think, again, this goes for me caring about this community. And, we've got to work collaboratively, but it's clear we're on our own. So, but I'm very proud of them. Police Department, Gary, our newest officer, starts the academy on Wednesday. So he'll be in the academy till the end of March. I'll give you regular reports. The other 3 officers are doing fine. 2 of them are now on their own in what we call a shadow phase, and they're doing really, really good. They're on day shifts. Thank you for everybody that showed up to the banquet. On behalf of the police department, I want to tell Miss Jessica and her staff what an incredible job they did of putting that together. That was awesome. But those of you that attended, thank you. That meant a lot to the crew. I know it did. And they even said on the way back over, and you got a chance to meet them all, but I'm very proud of them. We're kind of in a coast mode till the end of the year. Our first training day will probably be in February, as far as that goes. I've had some conversations with a few peers, and they're kind of pinging me, how are you staying fully staffed? So it's a good feeling, and a lot of it has to do with the support from this council, right? People want to come to work here because they feel supported, right? And you can ask them, and you heard a little bit of that at the luncheon. It's not me, it's not the mayor, it's not anybody here. They know they're going to get supported. So, and people want to work where they get support, or at least get a start, and so that means a lot. So, on behalf of the police department, I want to say thank you for that support. So, other than that, I'll stand for any questions.
I do want to say that challenging times do bring on some challenging activities.
Correct.
Thank you, Chief. Jessica?
All right. I will start with some operational things first. The website, my timeline was off. We're anticipated for January, February timeframe, but that was when I started talking to him back in August. Since all the paperwork's been done and things are moving, we're now looking at end of April, end of May. So the mayor and I met today with our current website provider. They're gonna keep our contract until the end of April, and then by that time we should have this other close enough to being done that we can transition. I think we made a very smart move based on our conversation we had with them again today. It's definitely time to get away from them, so. It's not the timeline we were hoping for, but we're still moving along with a better provider and better system, so looking forward to that. Phones are back today, luckily. We're gonna upgrade to the fiber line, so this won't happen again. Russ forgot to mention this, Public Works employee, we have a new one starting this next Monday, so we'll finally get some help for the crew. Staff banquet. Thank you for everyone that could attend. I think it went off great. Everyone was in good spirits afterwards, and yeah, went really well. Saturday, I thought it was a great day, and I just want to share my experience that day. I got a little taste of all departments, and it was awesome. I started out with, of course, with council, getting you guys up and running for the meeting or the training. And then from there, I was out in the rain with Lee, finishing up the Christmas tree, and we got soaked, but I think both of us had a good time and good conversation with them. And from there, we had Blue Christmas and watching the kids' faces light up when they see the officers and Santa, and it was very rewarding. And then being able to spend time with admin staff at the tree lighting, it was really a great day. I had a good time. So, yeah, thank you for everyone that could take part in it and the staff. And yeah, it was good. And again, with the flooding, thank you to Public Works. That was definitely a huge endeavor this last week. So, and Brenna, thank you for your time being on council. That's all I have.
Why don't we start off with Brenna, since we start talking about something.
Councilmember Franco stepped up when we had someone step down, and that she's been a great fit for council. If I can just speak on behalf of everyone, it's really been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. Let's give her a hand. We'll move on to my report, and everybody said thank you, and I'm going to say thank you to everybody that works in the city for everything that happened last week. You know, we had the flooding and all the Christmas stuff, and Blue Christmas was a lot of fun. I got to ride around with the chief in his truck and watching the kids wait at the windows, and their eyes were big and they were jumping around. It was just nothing that was better than that. And a special thanks to Gary. Make sure to tell Gary Klein thank you, because that was he did a good job setting that up and organized, and there's a lot of stuff for everybody to do. So it was a good week, even among everything that went on. Things that I've attended since the end of 11/29, King County Council Member Pete Von Reichbar's Good Eggs Breakfast. We listened to UW Medicine CEO Dr. Tim Dellett presented an informative update about the future of medicine, both nationally and in our region, and touched on current changes within Washington's hospitals and healthcare in general. That was very interesting. Public Issues Committee, you hear us call it the PIC Committee. I was on the nominating committee and what we did is we reviewed all the applications for 2024 regional boards and committees, and then made recommendations to the full PIC and the full board for appointments. I'm on 4 different committees this next coming year. So, Judicial Committee, PD, PD, several others. Virtually attended, Dana and I attended the Sound Cities Association workshop, Jurassic Parliament, last 2 weeks ago. Oh, Jessica, you sat in my office. It's a long week last week, wasn't it? And it was, the lady that puts it on has been doing it for years and years and years. And it was about arguments, insults, and interruptions. Help for council meetings gone haywire. So it was good. It was a good, informative meeting. And then I attended the elected officials class with everybody on Saturday. We had a good time. I think Mr. White got his eyes opened up a little bit, and it was good. So, is there any questions for me? Not, we'll move on. Audience participation. City Council encourages public participation during meetings of the City Council and welcomes your comments. This time is set aside for you to speak to the City Council on any issue. The Council ordinarily takes non-agenda matters under advisement before taking action. You are also invited to comment on action items as they are considered during the meeting. Individual speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each in addressing the City Council. When addressing the Council, please speak clearly and audibly and state your name and address for the record. Is there anyone who would like to speak? James, is there anybody online, sir? Nope. Nope. All right, we'll move past that. Discussion items. Discussion item A, Resolution 1268-23, franchise fee.
All right, so I have Miss Emily here from the city attorney's office. She is going to go through, we recently received an application for a franchise agreement through Ziply Fiber. This is a new process for, I believe, a lot of people here, so she's just going to walk through kind of what the process is and what this resolution is.
Thank you, Jessica.
Let me try to get the volume up for you. Okay. All right.
Can folks see me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Wonderful. I can't see anybody, so I'm talking to myself here. Nice to meet you all, council, virtually. Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Emily Romanenko. I work with Zach Lell at Ogden Murphy Wallace. I serve as city attorney, town attorney to a couple jurisdictions and assist other municipalities as well. And so I'm here tonight to talk about telecommunications issues, which is my sort of subspecialty. What we have in front of you tonight is a resolution establishing a franchise fee application. And so the purpose of this is franchise negotiations take usually a fair amount of time to review, to draft and then review. And under federal law, we are, as a jurisdiction, allowed to recover those costs. And we recently, I believe you updated your code back in 2021 to establish the franchise application process and what needs to be in there. And as part of that, we did also include a franchise fee. However, we did not take the next step to establish what that fee was. And so the purpose of this is really more of a housekeeping item than anything else, and is just intended to establish that fee so that the applicant that has come in the door, the fiber, as you mentioned, can move forward with their process. It doesn't bind the council to anything, to any particular provider or anything like that. It's really just, again, a housekeeping procedural measure so that when applicants do come in the door, like Ziply or anybody else who's providing telecommunication services, we can charge them that fee and get those costs recovered from town, from the city's perspective. So what we've established is that the application is the actual cost to the city. So that's my time or whoever's negotiating the franchise for you, staff's time. If we have to hire any other outside consultants, the application fee is all of those costs that are tallied up. And then we also have a deposit so that we're not fronting those costs for the applicant. We ask for that deposit up front. For new franchises, it's going to be $5,000. For renewals, it's $2,500. And that is very standard. Most, I think, if not all of my jurisdictions that I work with on telecommunications issues have set the deposit amount at that level of $5,000 for new franchises and 2,500 for renewals. And so that's kind of where we're at. I would definitely recommend moving forward with this. There's no downside to you, and so we are recommending approval. And I can take any questions if there are any.
Emily's recommending approval.
Yes, sorry, yes. The city attorney's office is recommending approval. Thank you.
Hi Emily, thanks for being here tonight. I got a question. Can you explain to me what a franchise is from the perspective of the city?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. And again, I can't see anybody, so I don't know who's asking the question, but I'm happy to answer it. So the city owns the rights of way in the city and holds those as in its capacity as the user. So we get to use the rights of way for anything that doesn't infringe upon public transportation and pedestrian transportation. So anyone who comes into our right of way should be already getting a right of way use permit, but that's typically like for a one-off. They're going to come in, they're going to put up a pole, right, for example, or maybe do some work, fix some manhole cover or something like that. It's sort of a temporary use. For folks that are going to be in the right of way for long periods of time, we usually grant a franchise agreement, and that's intended to cover things like insurance, indemnification, the requirement to go pull those permits to be in the right of way, to do any temporary work in the right of way. Basically, it's an agreement between the utility provider, typically utility provider, and the city that governs things like those insurance and indemnification provisions. There's sometimes some liquidated damages, which means that they do something that violates the terms of the franchise. They're held accountable at a certain penalty amount per day until they bring whatever it is into compliance. It basically holds both parties accountable and sets the legal framework within which a utility provider is allowed to be in our right of way. Does that help?
Yes, that's great. Thank you very much.
Is there any other questions?
Yes, I have one question. I see we have new franchise and renewals. How long is this agreement set for before we need a renewal?
Yeah, great question. I can't recall what our code establishes. I have to go back and look. Typically for telecommunications providers such as Ziply or AT&T or somebody like that, it's going to be 5 years. For something like a water franchise or a sewer franchise, you're looking at 20 to 30 years, and the justification for that is that the infrastructure that's involved with putting that goes into the right of way is just a bigger lift, and they want those utility providers want longer assurance from us that we're not going to come through in 5 years and kick them out of the right of way. So they request a longer term. It's anywhere, but so the short answer is anywhere between 5 and like 30 years, depending on the type of utility provider.
So then the cost would be the same no matter the term?
Yeah, the cost is the same no matter the term. And mind you, it's a deposit, and so if we don't use it all, they get it back. And if we go over that, because there's a longer negotiation period, they're kind of playing hardball, we will seek the actual cost to the city. So that could be in excess of $5,000. It sort of depends on the provider and sort of what they're looking for and how hard of a bargain we're trying to drive. But the franchise negotiation itself would always come back to council. Council is the one that authorizes a franchise execution, and so this just sets the fee for it. To be clear, only for telecommunications franchises. We don't have anything related to those water and sewer franchises. That's kind of handled in a different fashion.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, thank you, Emily.
Thank you very much. Yep, I will sign off now, but hope you guys have a good rest of your meeting, and it's nice to meet you all.
All right, have a good
Thank
night.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you. Take care.
Move on to discussion item B. Department of Commerce, Local and Community Projects Grant Agreement.
So this is the grant agreement for the $600,000 from the state for the capital budget. We just have the agreement done, ready to go, and this is just the first review of it. I think we talked about this quite a bit already, so if you have any questions, let me know.
So this should cover the rest of the work we've done.
In conjunction with the King County Parks grant, which we're in the process of contract review for that too, so you'll probably see that in January.
So do we have a round number of what its overall project cost are gonna be?
I believe it's gonna be right under the 1.6, so.
What last estimates were 1.2?
Thank you.
Any other questions? Move on to new business. Item A is the city clerk contract.
Alright, so I know I've talked about it in the past, about promoting Miss Dana here from deputy city clerk to city clerk. What's in front of you is an employment contract. It's very similar to what I had when I was city clerk. Greg helped prepare it with the city attorney's office. Has everyone had a chance to look through it? Is there any questions? Typically, in the past, we've done employment contracts in one review. So that's why I put it as old business, if it's up to council how you want to proceed with it. No pressure that she's sitting here.
I would take a motion, if somebody would like to make a motion to approve the contract.
I make a motion to approve the city clerk contract agenda bill AB 23-0110.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the contract. Any questions? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Pass. New business, item B would be if we need to schedule a second council meeting in December, would be the question. I don't think we do, unless anybody has any reason to have a second council meeting this month.
Is there anything that we needed to get signed before?
Everything's on this agenda.
Oh, so I guess we don't need a second.
We'll just need a motion.
I make a motion that we do not have a second council meeting in December.
Second.
There's been a motion that we don't have a second council meeting in December. And a second, is there any question?
No, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Passed. Move to old business, please. Item A is the 2024 Olympic Environmental Resources Agreement.
I make a motion to approve the Olympic Environmental Resource Agreement AB 23-0104.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the 2024 Olympic Environmental Resources Agreement. Is there any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Passed. Item B is the Algona Police Officers Contract and Memorandum of Understanding.
I'll make a motion to approve the mayor's execution of the presented MOU.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the mayor's MOU, Algona Police Officers Contract Memorandum. Is there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Pass. Item C under old business is Washington Department of Commerce Middle Housing Grant Agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the execution of the Middle Housing Grant Agreement.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Middle Housing Grant Agreement. Is there any question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Ordinances and resolutions. Item A is the ordinance 1230-23, the 2023 budget amendment.
Do you want to speak on that real quick?
Sure, council. We've added one item to this from the first read, which we heard at the last council meeting, and that is to add $25,000 to the general fund expenditure budget for sound card in the park. This is funded entirely by a King County grant, so we're increasing revenues and expenditures by $25,000 net zero, which is going to get in the amendment. All the other items are the same as last time.
We just received those grant funds today too.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 1230-23, the 2023 budget amendment.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve ordinance number 1230-23, 2023 budget amendment. Is there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Ordinance number 1231-23, 2024 final budget.
I move to adopt attached ordinance 1231-23. I'll second the budget 2024. I'll second.
I have a motion for ordinance to approve ordinance number 1231-23, the 2024 final budget. Is there any questions on the budget? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Resolution number 1267-23, Wafed Bank.
Make a motion to approve resolution 1267-23.
I'll second it.
A motion to approve resolution number 1267-23 to move to Wafed Bank. Is there any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Item D is ordinance number 1227-23, 2024 water rate.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 1227-23.
Second.
I have a motion to approve ordinance number 1227-23, 2024 water rate. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Ordinance E, 1228-23, sewer rate increase for 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 1228-23.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 1228-23, sewer rate increase for 2024. Is there any question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Do we want to, at this point, talk about the next workshop? Probably wait till January to talk about it.
That is up to you.
With you guys.
I think that's fine unless somebody has an idea of what they want in one at this point.
Thank you, Tara. So I'd say that we wait until the second meeting, and we'll decide at the first meeting. You will decide at the first meeting. Okay. Other than that, does anybody else have anything good for the order? Chris?
You don't want to go over that, so.
Does it have to do with waste management?
No.
What?
That's all.
Thanks for the tease.
No, I'm serious. My mom said, if I had nothing good to say, don't say it at all.
Okay. Then we'll adjourn the meeting.